Hello everyone, welcome to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorneys. Today's gonna be a very special day. We're being joined by Meow's Edgeworth, and I'm keeping a close eye on whether the stream crashes or not. If it doesn't crash today, then yay! But yeah, we're in case 5. This is a long case, so let's get strapped in. Let me get into my chat room. Yes, I would. And let's examine some things, eh? Like his desk. A work desk. It's quite tidy, as one might expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so well, I can see my own reflection. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir. Don't. He'll sue you. He'll sue you. Chess. Hey, a chessboard. I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like the blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrendered the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted nice. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. And it reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair? Nah, it's nothing. Hey, Angel Love, what's up? How you doing today? Angel Love, I need to ask this of you. How is the volume right now? Is the volume good? Can you hear me? And can you hear the game good? If you know, let me know as soon as you can. Whoa, these are all case files? They stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights. He must have someone get them for him. Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? He must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool. Wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. Hey, number 13th. Can you let me know as well if you can hear, you think it's good? Alrighty. Yeah, if everyone can let me know if you can hear me or not, I would appreciate it. My, what an amazing bouquet. Just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Wendy? I heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place, Wendy. Wendy? Is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiancée? Oh. I don't think so. Ha ha ha. Look at this. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it's in a frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture. She's getting way too excited about this. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it. Mumbles of prosecutors. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. What? So that K, that's... K stands for King? Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors. Kind of like Employee of the Month, only better. So that's the King of Prosecutors shield, huh? Well done, Edgeworth. You must be proud to be the King of Prosecutors. Congratulations, King of Prosecutors. Please, stop saying that. That still doesn't explain one thing. Why is the tip of this shield broken off? Huh, weird. Probably nothing, right? So the body was found in your car. Go ahead and say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all that trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean, wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister, then? Yes, sir. Emma Skye. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit, it was a surprise for me, too, to think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Lana Skye is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You? Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth will be the prosecutor tomorrow, guys. To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors. You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time where there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incident. What? That's crazy. Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life. It's impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's got to be a story behind that one. And hey, Mafia babe! What's up? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? You're just in time. We're talking to Edgeworth once again. Chief Prosecutor Skye? Yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago, I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears I was mistaken. But mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then, why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? You cut your lip on a candy cane? Oh no, how did you do that? Mafia, babe, be careful. My goodness. I'm glad you're alright, though. To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. You don't know. Well, I'm glad you're alright. Edgeworth? What? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can you take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Alright, well, let's present some stuff now. Like this ID. Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this. But Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, he'll take it for sure, won't he? I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth, but then my sister would be found guilty. She sighs in a deep, I'm gonna start getting depressed. So basically, this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, Wright. I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why's that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his award for better or for worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday. Okay. Do you remember this case at all, by the way, Mafia babe? Like, what's going on? Can you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. Not really. A detective was killed. The suspect is the chief prosecutor. The murder took place in Edgeworth's car, in a garage somewhere. And I'm gonna defend. And hello! You were first, Kasai Matrix. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing today? It's good to see ya. Welcome to the next case, the last case. We call it evidence transferal. Wiping your hands of old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing. A ceremony was held at the police department. There's an annual review and awards for outstanding police officers and prosecutors. You're RJ? Hello, RJ. I remember. I'm gonna call you by the new username just because I can see it and stuff. Because remembering past names is very, very hard. But yes, welcome back. And that's when you got the shield? I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. Ooh, record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12. Okay, remember that. Mark it on your notes. This is the parking stub from the underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back. What, right? I appreciate it if you direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. What? Who is this? Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir. At the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Hey, Foursquare, what's up? You spent $99 at Walmart? Oh no. Have an associate authorize your transaction. That's a lot. What did you get? Sky, sir? No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. I think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Mr. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? Need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir, I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement with it. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right. Officer Meekins, take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. Whimper. But, sir, I didn't know. Poor guy. Looks like he was upset the day they gave out brains and good luck. Ouch. Hey, Captain Chips. What's up? You're rich. You got a lot of random things. Well done. Foursquare, you escaped your Walmart. How you doing, though, Captain Chips? Today's the big day. If the stream crashes, then we have to call someone again. So yeah, let's see if it does not crash today, huh? You're done being sick? Good. No more sickness for you. Right? Yes, sir. Gah, he caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the same department as that patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. Alright. Let's get out of here. I think I remember where you saw this person, by the way, Captain Chips. She was, one of the characters in the Boot to the Head video. Welcome to the police department entrance, everyone. Woo! We're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. She never worked for a kinder man. Yes. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on. What's that? Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he's noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal, what are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know that I'm a very busy man, pal. So, what'd you think of that creature in front of the police department? I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. What? Why not? Huh? Well, just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime, and she says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office, and she killed him. Initial reaction? Good. That's a good, starting reaction. What does that mean? I don't know. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no. Come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa, the chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe? What did you do this time? What do you mean this time? Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true. We've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger dance down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall? Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal. Well, let's, show him this. Oops. Present. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me so much into trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see. Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, tell us more. No, don't do that. So, this ID card belonged to the victim. He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal, Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot, and Lana's confessing as much. Yeah, not good. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors. Out in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Here we go. He's in a tough spot, BRB. Alrighty, Angel Love. BRB, see you soon. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of that defense attorney, Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to the department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. Alright. Let's talk to our new friend here. I was wondering about that. What, the Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances and dances. It just dances until the batteries die. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? You met the guy who is. What was his name? The guy in the parking lot. That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer from West L.A. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this and they'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice, pal. Alright. Back to the crime scene we go. Looks like the investigation is still ongoing. Have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Oh, still here? Hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in the criminal affairs too. What happened to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking at like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. What a guy this is, huh? Whoops. There's something I wanted to ask you. The scene of the crime, a cold grave for men who lost their dreams. And me, I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the desert's harsh judgment. He's asleep. Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Yeah. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cowdog. He's holding a birthday party or something. Huh? Look where it should say letter of introduction. It says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries. This proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right. He's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny, let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? You're back? Welcome back. I should make a rules channel in my Discord. If I knew how, I would. I absolutely would, and I should. Say I won't be needing this anymore. Alright, now let's talk to this guy. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. You'd make a mini-vid? You'll make a mini-vid? Be as descriptive as you can, alright? Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound, died within an hour and a half at 4 p.m. Okay? Write that down, everyone. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention this, Bambina. She, Prospector Sky, and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prospector. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot? So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do, nothing important at least. He's nothing but a sad old cowdog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cowdog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of the chief of police. Just, you don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Oh no. Let's, do some examining. No, not talk. Examine. I see a cell phone. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could have belonged to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right. Let's check it out. Alright. Got a strap. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids. Alright, let's do a little bit of a turny around. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of all the calls you made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Look how old this phone is, by the way. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Beep! Hey, that song. I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Beep! Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed the redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone, except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now, one of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh, I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kinda strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone, wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh, I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Whew. Weird, huh? This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So, wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You have to be the only person I know who would come to that conclusion. What else do we got here? This appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock in the truck is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. It will be in the disc. Okay. Sounds good. Quite a luxury car. It screams, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. Not the defense lawyers, though. They get nothing. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. You're right. Let's see. 6/7S12-2. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Alright, we got a strange note. Cool. Not seeing anything else. B block is through there. That's where the visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it, and you'll be fine. Ha 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 ha. That's creepy. Hey. I don't think we need to know that that's A block. I guess that's it. Knowing me, I'm missing something. I guess we'll present some stuff to the, oops, not move. Oh, Lana Sky. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's the dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Someone's up to something here. But who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranged testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? Hey, welcome back, Angel Love. How you doing? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you find one person. But they're off limits, untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector, Lana Sky. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. Making food? Nice. What you making? What? You're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. Well, we have an autopsy report, a note, from the victim and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma. Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai's theme song, isn't it? The popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Alright. Who's ready for some court battles, guys? I know I am. Dun dun dun. I know. Here's a question I'll pose for all of you guys. Who is the murderer this time around? Is it someone we know? Someone we don't know? We'll see. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes, a defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia, but there's one decisive difference between you and her, and that is you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright, even though there's no Maya, we have Emma. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. Hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he was much more forceful than person. Suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution may call its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The Kotha Queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh ho, caviar? I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me, the name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. So is one sip allowed to give food to people in a courtroom, by the way? I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Maybe one of the best prosecutors in the biz, but Edgy still can't wrangle a witness. Nope. No, he cannot. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? I know who you are. Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. But very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block. In the car's trunk, the killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Matrix. Hehe. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valid witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Happy New Year. Not a Happy New Year just yet, but it will be soon. Did you see the moment? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Close enough. Alright. The first witness testimony of the Case 5, guys. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Seems like she skipped a step. Yeah, maybe. I want to see something real quick. I'm not going to present it, but, usually Mr. Edgeworth's toolbox. Oh, it doesn't say that. The hand of which was thrust. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Think you glitched and Addy can't see them no more? Can someone tell Matrix to refresh? Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend? He's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she visited the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was finally owned Detective Intuition at work. Weird. Matrix. Very weird. Let me know if it's still going. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Works. Yay! Well done. Welcome back. But I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline somewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of the criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Can I see something real quick? Mentioned by Angel Star. Let me save real quick. If this is not right, then we'll just load. Aha! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife? As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. You feel like Angel's the real criminal? Ooh, maybe. We'll have to see, Matrix. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Yes. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Arg, you got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness had said in her testimony, namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. But that's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering a jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. But premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Warg! These gloves do seem to tell of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. Alright, I kinda forgot the answer here. It's been a while since I've done this case in particular. A very, very long time. Premeditated. Oh yeah, the murder weapon usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. If it was premeditated, why'd she use this? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. You said this was long, so there's a lot to remember. Oh yeah. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon? The red car? All belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right?
Mommy, a prosecutor's bad people.
Yeah, there's a lot to remember in this one. A lot to remember. The defense has a request. We ask the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Larg! How does she know all this? Maybe she planned it and told her to kill her to get her arrested? She was just there. I think that's just the answer. She was visiting her BF. Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My stitch is as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. The fact that it was done in his knife, the body was placed in his car, Edgeworth wouldn't be near this case. He'd have been taken off it on suspect of being an accomplice or accessory to the murder. Well, there's more to this case than you know. That's all I will say on that matter there. Hee hee. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? If she was there, she would have been in a car going to her BF. No, she was walking to her BF. You haven't seen all of the map yet, I'll say. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge in the knife again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Alright, let's do another little savey save. Why is she smiling? 'Cause that's just her personality. Plunge the knife in again and again, huh? Again and again. One knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again? But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying that you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how the whole ghastly scene was. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Muffler, she just said. Let's take a look here. Does anyone see a muffler here? 'Cause I know I don't. She's being suspicious. She's being sus, bro. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim, and you've proved it by yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. The moment of truth. Maybe. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. How'd I get the name Ultima 395? Short version, I like Final Fantasy. I like, the spell Ultima. And the 395 is, 'cause, those were the numbers available to me at the time. And it just rolled off the tongue. That's the short version. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, that one. A leopard woman. Rawr! Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. I might have seen the, I might have seen it, guys. Let me do another little savey save. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Let's take a look at the map real quick. Angel was here, and Lana was here. Do you see something in between the two that would make it kind of hard for her to quickly catch up? 'Cause I do. But the game doesn't yet. Angel is very sus, she isn't making sense, and yes. Alright, let's press and we'll find the right things. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means the wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly, you were close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press it for more details. I'm too smart for the game, so we gotta do this first. I like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The cop of Queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. Press onward. Yep. Press away. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? If you remove the T-E-L-Y, you get Ultima! My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should then, of course, add this to your testimony. Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Okay, this might be the one now. You're doing these malapropisms? I don't know what that means. Never heard that word before either. Now I think we can do this. Feels good. You enduring how she gets proved wrong? Like right now? If you run 650 miles per hour, you can run on water. Yeah, sadly I can't do that. Did not know that, actually. That's cool. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. Poor Jesus casually walking. Cool. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Wah? Warg! Is what her harassment? Order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Grr. Metaphor, but with the fundamentally misunderstood of what the metaphor actually means. Other random things she's saying, like the salmon flowing up the river. Gotcha. I think I understand now. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. I better say it just in case, then. The witness lied about what she saw, where she saw it, the order of events. Let's try... I don't know, it's one of these two, I think. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is the significance about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that is a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Starr witnessed this crime was... Where do you think, guys? Where is the actual crime scene, or place where she was? She was actually... in the trunk! She's Goodman! No, she was here. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. The car right below A? Sadly, no, the security room. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime, and the back of the partition, is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order! Witness, what have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. The Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would it change? Difference in lighting? Maybe this one. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. Objection! It's the first time perjury came up in the series. Yep, the first time. How crazy, huh? My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness, you. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J sandwich with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Aha! And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Now you see the full map, guys. Now it's here. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have the evidence to stop this? Maybe? She definitely did the crime. She'd be lying. That's a crime leading up to 5 years in prison. I don't know about that, but we'll see. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make a pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with the 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. You... Yarg! Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. You did it! You screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Oh, we're not done yet. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off of me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! She needs to go to prison. We'll see. Out of the difference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Alright, let's see what she has to say. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proved it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Uh-oh. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention I have 3 boyfriends in forensics? In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, and as I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Nah. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure the guilty are properly judged. Alright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, erasing and manipulating evidence, or arranged testimonies. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. This is a weird trial, and it's only the first part. Oh yeah, this is... You have no idea, Captain Chips. You haven't even seen the tip of this iceberg yet. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. Wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed the valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One, of course, was the victim's. You can never be in trial. You'd be bored. You feel like that would happen? Like, is every witness gonna be like this? The defendants and prosecutor and the witnesses are all against one another? You'll just have to see with the future cases. So you brought it up to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And the blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure that blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties it directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proved it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? I wonder if I should examine it. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in the jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis.
Poor sis.
Aha! Ah! There's blood here too! On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood. It's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. A clue, everyone. It's a clue. Okay. I have a problem now. I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? So what's the problem with this evidence? The bottom? I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of the shoe? I don't remember, to be honest. The bottom, the floor is clean, maybe? I forgot, but we'll see what happens. That's a threat, is a little sus. It's all the sus, but she's gonna get away with it. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness? What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman.
Wow.
I thought that was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. What, water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. What? Why? This ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tied her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's speciality, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? Ignoring the blood, even fresh blood doesn't come off that easy. Maybe it did this time around? I don't know. We'll see. So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. But Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Hello? Now what? Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister had evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well. I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comment and you will be held in contempt of court. Your tricks don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Oh. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. But Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Uh-oh. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind, immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Well, that's the end of that. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't, then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. Suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. So the court a problem in this photograph. Do you guys see a little problem with this photograph? Any problems whatsoever? Like maybe... be this? The problem is this in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. The missing shoe, the thing in the tailpipe? You got one of them. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? Excuse me. So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. The crime photo? Well, Your Honor, how do you feel about that? Oh, wrong one. I mean, what do you think about the... Alright. A cloth was found in the car's muffler. Where have I heard that word recently? Muffler. Alright, let's save the game and think about what's the right answer. Which other thing mentioned muffler? Muffler. Here, Lana's cell phone. Stupid. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Arg! Yarg! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, warg! Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, then bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew, that was close. But we made it. At least, for now. The court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. You still hungry? To be continued. Ooh, what do you think of this case so far, guys? Pretty weird and bizarre, huh? Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called up to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. If I may proceed with the reading. What? What do you mean by that? They say if you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come to take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That's hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All these, police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photographs taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns, and sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee.
Hooey!
So there's still more court stuff, guys. I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. What's going on? Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets, that furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there? Oh. Whoa. What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you. Okay. Oh, sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How you been? Swimming much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smizzy, Udgy. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On Little Worthy's car, no less. Oh. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there, Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah! The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Alright, Mr. Judge. Alright, what's this? There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame? But it's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow? Nah, that's crazy. Oh, what? Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Cut your fingers, Sky cut herself. Oh, maybe. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Alright, Mr. Gant. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Wait, what? There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Nudgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact same time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order. Anyway, we at the department were all aflustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places? Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. So, there were 2 murders? 2 murders. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me, special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. The knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Mr. Righto. Evidence that linked the knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. Should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So how are things done at the department? So did any of you see that number before? SL9? Because I think I did. Like maybe, right here. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife. That has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92, and this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7, S, 12, 2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get?
Ta-da!
Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing as is written on the knife's tag. Order, order. Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case that was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. See, this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. You weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help if you'd help by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Where the victim was found, the victim was killed when the victim died. I guess, we'll do them all if we possibly can. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I've heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just gotta hand it our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can begin to testify about the details. Not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. So let's see. Maybe we can just press. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases have already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. Uh-huh. You two make a great pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduce right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. What's the ID number of the victim? Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. You keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 8, 2... I can't do it. I didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department, 5842189. Does that tell you guys anything in chat? I think it tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? This card. Witness? What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. Don't we have an ID card? We do. No, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And that means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82... I've forgotten. Didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number that Chief of Police gave us was 5842189. Well, wait a second, Wright. What does this... mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time and in a completely different location? You like this witness, Damon Gann? Yeah, he's cool. I like Damon Gann a lot. No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yet, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. I forgot the voice I gave him earlier. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule irrelevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in a court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I cannot submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job? No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. But, Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day if the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. Whew. Guys, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death at after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or try to at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine just aren't for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. So, everyone, do you now see why this case is very, very long? You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Heh heh heh. Ignore the strength of my science at your peril, Mr. Wright. I really feel like someone's wires got crossed somehow. Oh yeah, I definitely think so too. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Whoa. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the A button to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. So in the DS version, we would use the touchscreen for this part here. Oh, wait a minute. Aha! I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain? It's so, Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain, but doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there have to be more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Alright, cool. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should say give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. Hello, Miss Starr. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there, but I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah! I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they face me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day, I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Yeah, what do you mean by that? What do you think about this? The SL9 incident and the knifing on the note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Hey, can I do this, by the way? Court record... spray. Wow. Aha! This blood must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So, this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. Yeah, that never happened. I think there's more, if I remember right. Somewhere here? Okay, maybe not. Alright. Oh, I guess we can't get any more info. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. She went straight for the scene of the crime. I rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murderer. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were. 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? Yeah, that time. My god, that's loud. What is the, spray? The spray stuff? Is the game itself too loud, by the way? I'm seeing on the thingy that it's kind of loudish. Let me know. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? Oh, on the contrary. It was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Oh, the spray. I had a feeling. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence, of a sort, made-up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part, after several months after the trial, or came after, every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, the others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. Might be. My ears have been weird since your little illness. Oh no. That's annoying then. I don't know if anyone else is here, but was that loud, super loud? Was that loud, super loud? The sound is loud. I had a feeling it was. Options. BGM volume. Now that's too low. It's like a drilling manual for each stream. You just don't know if it's loud or not. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell? There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends? How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. Has to be a connection. So, rookie, what? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch. Miss Starr, Officer Marshall, is he your, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you, Officer Jack Marshall. Whew. Have you been listening so far, Angel Love, to the court stuff? Who else is here? Is Mafia Babe still here too? Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday, and I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. Hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Kinda. You're kinda paying attention. It's a lot to take in, huh? The real question is, how did it happen? How did the same detective get killed in two different areas? Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning. I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in two places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Huh. And we're back here, guys. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, it makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating, but don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Real quick, that must be the chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room? Tell no one outside the police department. No, I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. Someone's getting a demotion. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know, the killer used dry ice. If you put it between the latch and the door, the room could be sealed shut. This is good. I'll win a writer's award for sure. He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Just for fun, let's say hello to our friend here. The blue badger is still writhing around today. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. I mean, I don't blame ya. Guard station! Whoa. I wonder who, works this area. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to this pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So, beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh! What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Well, who could he be, folks? Look, on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Yipes, those sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think that just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell, with spines pointing in every direction, just like her. I'm not sure I see the resemblance. It's more like an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Alright, what else we got? There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A punchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information for myself for the time being. Ha 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 ha. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Alright, I guess we can't do anything here yet. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it's more of a yarg myself. Alright, I guess there's nothing I can do here for now. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that... One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. Caught our criminal, now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day as a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And on the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe? Who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Anything around here isn't going to fill my belly. Well, wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the station center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he's down there having a good cry. Later. Oh, who could it be? He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Alright. The murderer is... Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. But not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Wheen! What was that? Sir, that's what I was saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, this guy. Oh, hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You... Officer Meekins? You didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. Well, here's our suspect. Sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. What the heck is this guy doing? So, what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir, so I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Meskai. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you happen to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or air or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed the knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Whew. This guy, guys. I'm not sure if I can do anymore, but do the knife, I guess. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek! I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir. Last night, sir, that's the one. I was an apple, sir. In my dream, sir, I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. I guess that's all, maybe? I don't remember, so screw it. Whoops. Let's see if what's-his-name is there now. Aw, no. Alright. Operation Find, Operation Find Where We Gotta Go is a go. Officer Meekins, have a look at this. Go ahead, sir. Laugh. Laugh at me, sir. Ha ha. Huh? I know what you want to say. You're going to tell me how she has one just like it. But me? Why would I? I know, sir. I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere. I'm alone. All alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir. Is he talking about those badges on her coat? I like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir. That's it. That's it. That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Aha. We found the plot again. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a little lost lamb, if you will. I didn't know Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So, you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. So suddenly, he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and I leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My father's word, my own father's word, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim really was the victim. How's my internet? Hey, Hellfire Skyrim. It's been surviving this time, guys. No reports of outages. So maybe it was, Spectrum after all. It was actually broken. They came, they said they fixed the thing, and we haven't gotten a single crash. As far as I know. But how you doing, Hellfire Skyrim? What's up? And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, you don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day at the time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out, it's there, it's me, it's on tape. Hey, you're cute today. Yay. Well done. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. We're in a very confusing case right now, Hellfire Skyrim. There were 2 crimes, and the detectives were the same. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there is anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gantz reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Hey, Johnny. Welcome back to the stream. welcome back to this, massive guy. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gord Lake? It doesn't look too good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career, but in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Well, wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of a turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? You're good. I'm doing great. The thing has not crashed yet, and maybe the crashings are done. Once again. I hope. I hope. Bigly. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all their secrets just like that. This in particular, well, it's a little sensitive. I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all this hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. More crashing will be first again. Oh, we'll see. There's some first candidates here as well, Johnny. Hee. But, you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives' trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Alright. Well, you have fun, Detective Gant. I'm going to examine this guy. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. I know. The killer used a cassette tape. What a crafty trick. That gunshot was a fake. This is good. No one will expect a cassette tape in this day and age. He's not writing a report. He's writing a novel. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. It took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here. Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? Not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21. Better make a note of that just in case. A half-written document dated by 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Alright, back we go. Please be home. Gosh darn it, he's not home yet. Maybe we have to talk to Gant some more. Hey, here you go. Let's try the badge. I was wondering, did you take a look at this? Nope. This is the part of the game where I just present everything. I present everything to everyone. Whoops. I like Chief Gant's theme song too. Chief Gant's theme song is quite good. Here's your blue badger. Whoops.
Oopsie.
Show him everything and everywhere. Yep. I'm gonna show him to my offices. couple more to go, and then we'll look around for some more things. Whoops.
Oopsie.
Gosh darn it. Stop it. Stop! No. Not the knife. I doubt it would be this. And I doubt it would be the steak lunch. Alright, so Chief Gant is done. Where's Edgy? He's around. He's the prosecutor of this case still. So, oh, here we go. Stupid. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Oh. Yes? Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. Really? So go ahead and investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. As for you, here, you can borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. Just run along now and do your best. Later, folks. Thank you, Chief Gant. Looks like pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think that this place is a bad influence on the girl. I'll say. Here we go. Whoops. Let's get in now. Looks like a Pokemon trainer who, Chief Gant. Chief Gant or the, girl. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, who's made my Bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him, look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. The chief? The chief. Is he an older Poke trainer, maybe? Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest? That better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little dogies. The crime scene's awaiting. Beep. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I've got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us, hombres. Well, you're gonna talk with me, mister. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading a six-shooter, I say a little prayer. Roar! What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. I have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. I know what we gotta do. There you go. That smell. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask Murph, munch, anything, Murph, smack. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. This isn't the Lucky Luke, huh? Who's that? Who's Lucky Luke? Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down on the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. It's a cowboy Lucky Luke? I've never heard of it. Is he from a movie or something? You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Miss Starr told me something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transfers. Edgeworth was talking about the transfers too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Deputy Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Then the camera, thus the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. Alright. You have a lot of, He ain't the sheriff, I'm the sheriff. You're the sheriff, Johnny. Nice. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? Haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Whoops. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the country sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. Salt. Are you salty? I see now. Transferal is like the funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Well, I have a little ID. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on that is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. You do, Johnny? Oh dear. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card, then why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Okay. Sounds good. But let's go into the evidence room now. It's quiet. The investigation must be over there. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Eek! Wow! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50. No problem. So go ahead, investigate this room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Scant will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Cool. Well, let's do some examining. Like this. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet the evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? You leave the things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? I like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck his shirt under that trench coat either. You're going to talk behind someone's back. Don't do it right in front of them, pal. Oh boy, we have a bunch of things here, huh? Bro's in need of money. Oh yeah, Detective Gumshoe really needs cash. What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Aha! It is time for this. Oh god. The spray. Oh, wait a minute. Ho ho ho. More like gunshot. Yep. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What's this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd be better jot down on this on the floor plans. Okay. Very strange. What else do we got? We have a blood print here? On the blood print? I knew it. This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker? It's mine. It's yours? Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise to testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can trust the police. What? But you're a detective. What else do we got? Yeah, a lot here. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it in the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it, guys. Yep, that's it. Okay, thank goodness. That red was very weird. Let's examine a bit more. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above it, the door is lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprints. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. What do we got here? Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. It's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? Does have a tag on it. Okay, what do we have here? Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all those pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. Do you see the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. Want to try putting it back together? Ah, good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Alright, guys. Time for another touchscreen minigame. So let's see. We have a bunch of pieces here, as you can see. Combine. That does that. So we gotta find the right one, guys. Remember this being kind of fun, actually. Aha! Ho ho! Ha 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 ha! Nope, that's not it. Whoops. No. No, that's not it either. No. Maybe this one? Aha! What else do we got? We have, I don't think it's that. There we go. Look at us solving, the puzzle, guys. See, this is the kind of puzzle that I can take. Right here. Nope. Okay, not that. There we go. It's a cup of glass, I think. A cup of glass, you say, huh? We'll see. We'll see what it is, huh? Okay. This is kind of different, by the way. Normally the screen would be scrolling up at this point, but it's not this time. Ho ho. There's only 2 pieces left, guys. Come on. Alright, one more. Huh. We're missing a part. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. A vase? Could be a vase. Could be. So I think that's all the stuff investigated. Let's talk to the good detective. So Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day. That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Haha, of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me the locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but I can't even lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coated with a fingerprint. So, the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Okay. We don't have a lot of time left, so let's present some of our evidence. You can't open the lockers if your fingerprints don't match. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. No, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Allow me to say one thing speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence, I know nothing about it, nothing. Alright. So this is, not evidence that I can pronounce, that I can give him. Did you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of murder. Wah! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? How would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Uh-oh. That might be bad. Whoops. Luminal testing. Let's see if we can go and talk to Mr. Edgeworth right now. Can we even do that? Also, let's present this with Mr. Meekins here. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? Sorry, sir, I have no idea what that is. Nope. Never mind. Mr. Edgeworth! And he's not here. Gosh darn it. I doubt that she would know, but let's see. Nope. Nope. I doubt it's here. Yeah, it's not here either. Alright, let's go back to the guard station. Oh yeah, do you have an ID, mister? Alright, never mind. Let's present some more things to this guy then, eh? Whoops. Luminol is not the answer. Goodman's note and that switchblade knife, but Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection, that's what Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would the evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. I bet you're right. Here we go, we found it. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing. A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in it after all. But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and I started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, you see. So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Hey pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? Just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help, Report? You mean that note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure we can use a report like this. I believe it's him. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Alright. It's getting late, folks. I think we'll talk to Edgeworth real quick, or, start the conversation. And then after that, I'm gonna hit bay. We're making some progress. We're making big products with this case. Big progress, rather. Oh, hi. I remember you. Guess my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Alright. Last moment before we go back to sleep. Yep. It was that little pamphlet there. Alright, guys. I'm gonna end stream here. No crashes. Thank goodness for that. Tomorrow we'll see if there's another crash. Maybe today was just a fluke. But we'll see. Anyway, I have a thing to watch, so I will see you all tomorrow's. Bye, Angel Love. Bye, Captain Chips, Johnny Cage, Mafia Babe if you're still here, Hellfire Skyrim, and anyone else. Be well, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.